Well, as far as like the singing part goes, I haven't done that much singing except for like lunchtime's fun with Slushy the Clown, which was
the immortal words, pickles so green and meat so brown.
Yeah.
Lunchtime's fun with Slushy the
which
Clown.
was a beautiful duet between Major Monogram and I. But as far as the acting goes, being in voiceover, you really get a chance to just like play around with whatever you're doing because you can do it as many times as you want and they don't get mad at us. So I think that's really fun. It's just like going in there and like playing around.
Well, we actually have a new song to share with you all today. This is from an episode that will be coming up soon. Dan, Tom, you want to set this up?
We have an episode where Phineas and Ferb build a day spa that Candace ends up going to at the end, and they sort of have separate stories entirely. And when she comes home, she said it's such a wrecked day that she goes ahead and goes to the spa rather than busting the
She enjoys something in Phineas and Ferb.
And the board artists for the show had come up with this sort of "It's a Spa Day," this really sweet song for it. And I was like, well,
My dad
that's a good
helped
start.
write that, by the way. Giving him props.
Yes.
Fine.
Down front we have Martin Olson, one of our writers that writes a lot of the songs with us, and Danny Jacob who does the music. He's a
They're awesome.
But we said that was a good start, but Phineas and Ferb would amp it up a little bit, and it wouldn't stay that sweet for the entire time because they'd be much more enthusiastic about it. And this is what we ended up with.
Roll clip.
Where else can you go to get bossa nova and hip hop in the same package? Wow.
It was a lot of fun to put that together. By the way, the voice of Ferb when he sings, people often ask, who's doing the singing for Ferb, because it's obviously not the same guy who's doing the talking, and that's almost always Danny Jacob, our composer.
Yeah, Danny.
There's also whenever you don't hear, whenever it's not one of the characters and it's just being sung in the background, he's the guy who's saying my nema nema ooh my nema nema. He's got a fantastic voice.
That's part of what is so great about this show for me, is the amount of songs and music in it. I always say that animation is the last bastion of melody, because most of the times on the radio, you don't really get melody, but in a show like this, you get exposure to a great range of fantastic, fun, smart songs. I mean, there again, it's like, as a kid on the radio, you don't hear a lot of bossa nova, but there's some bossa nova in there. I think that's fantastic.
We're bringing bossa nova back, baby.
All right.
Well, if you are fans of the music and songs in the series, we have a very special episode coming up for you. Can you guys talk a little bit about the musical
Well, we have a music video cliptacular. You'll be able to vote online for your favorite songs, and then Doofenshmirtz and Monogram will count them down in a sort of TRL thing until we get to number one. And it should be fun. You'll get, I believe, 10 full songs in an episode. And,
Extended versions of songs that you haven't heard before.
Yeah, it should be fun. So they'll be announcing that soon as to how to go in and vote. And we're all excited to see which ones come in at what levels.
I think it should be Brick. That was a great song, full of pathos and emotion.
The Brick theme song was written by Swampy Marsh in about the same amount of time it takes to sing it.
My best work.
It was.
Guys, we'll have an opportunity to vote on all the songs, and then also a soundtrack with, I believe, 26 songs will be available. Wow. So that's exciting. We also have a sneak peek at another special episode coming up. That's when we talk about Quantum Boogaloo.
Yeah, the boys went back in time with the time machine, and we had them leave the time machine in the museum so that we could use it again in the following season. So second season, they go 20 years in the future to get a tool that hasn't been invented yet that they need for some project.
And they
run into 35-year-old Candace, who sees her little brothers and realizes they're time traveling, and it dredges up all her feelings of never being able to bust them. So she realizes they must have come in that time machine. It must still be there. So she goes to the museum, takes the time machine back to the past, and busts them in the past, and and it has drastic results. So I think if you've seen the roller coaster episode, you may recognize some of this.
Let's roll clip. So last year we ran out of time before we could answer all of the questions people had. So this year we want to jump right in and hear the questions from you folks. But first I want to say, right after the panel, we will be giving out posters. Hopefully everyone got a ticket to get that. And Dan and Swampy will be signing autographs in Area 3. First 100 people get Phineas and Ferb book. So if you want to go show up for that. And let's jump in now and hear your questions. First up, step right up.
Hello,
Hello.
this is for everyone. When are Phineas and Ferb gonna find out that Harry isn't Asian?
Well, there's talk of doing an episode in which that actually happens. So, but we do not know when it's going to happen. But maybe sometime in the third season.
One thing we've learned making this show is never say never. So you never know.
Hi, I have a question for the creators. What was your inspiration for making this show?
Originally, it was just because Dan and I liked working together and we wanted to keep working together. So we thought if we created a show, we could work on it together.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
This is for everyone. What are your favorite songs from the shows?
Ooh, favorite song. Wow. You know, Gitchy Gitchy Goo still sticks in my head. I like that song. There's a couple new ones coming up third season that are knocking it out of the way.
I'm an old jazz fan, so I like
Let's Take a Rocket.
Rocket Ship to Space. Makes me think of Frank Sinatra, so it's my favorite.
I liked We're Watching and Waiting from Don't Even Blame Me. I really liked that song. It has a lot of fast lyrics that I got to sing. So that was fun.
My favorite song to sing was Ready for the Betties in the Betty episode. That was me. Yeah.
I really liked the It's Candace song from her. I thought that was hilarious.
I love the theme song. It makes me feel good and great and have fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Is there ever going to be an hour-long episode of Phineas and Ferb?
It's possible. There's a lot of big things happening in third season. I'm not sure we can talk about any of them yet, but it's
confidential.
Yes.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
It's not impossible.
I really like that you guys are coming out with a soundtrack because most of the time I like the songs. Is there ever going to be a Phineas and Ferb movie?
You know, we would love for there to be a Phineas and Ferb music. Is there somebody you can talk to about that?
You can put in a good word for us, that'd be great.
We'd love that. Thank you.
First of all, I want to say thank you because I'm a mom who sits and watches the cartoons with my son. I don't allow him to watch TV without me. So thank you. And,
Parenting your children, what a concept.
yeah. And then this question is for Dee because I know we've been to a couple of panels. I know you do a lot of voices.
And you're sick of me, aren't you?
No, not at all. But how many cartoons voices are you doing, and do you ever get mixed up with them?
I'm lucky to be working on a lot of different shows for. I'm running over to American Dad right after this. That's not the one for the kids, though, so much. Ben 10 Alien Force, but on Disney, like on Turner, on Handy Manny,
Turn of the Flange Screwdriver.
and Pizza Guy from Higglytown Heroes. Buster and My Friends Tigger and Pooh. There's a lot of others. I'd have to IMDb myself just to kind of check on that. But I'm very lucky to work a lot.
He does constantly get confused. He shows up at the studio, he usually doesn't know where he is or what show it is.
I have to
spend
play
5 minutes
reference.
reorienting him.
They need to play a reference for Perry, so like